everybody, this is your girl CC with Where It Begins Magazine, and it's Happy Friday, Labor Day weekend. We have a special guest on the line with us, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself of who he is and what he does.
Hello, CC. It's your boy Alvin Garrett. They like to call me the inspirational soul man from Birmingham, Alabama. And I am releasing new music today, and it's the Lightness of Love Deluxe. And this is an extended version of my previously released album from earlier this year, The Lightness of Love. I added 4 new songs, and I'm excited to let you all hear it. I'm a Grammy-nominated songwriter by trade, producer, bass guitarist. I've gotten here over 20 years of industry engagement, and I'm excited to be here as an artist, letting the world hear my music, my voice on this Labor Day weekend.
Awesome, and congratulations. I can't wait to hear about it. But who are some inspirations to you in the music industry?
Well, I'll say one of my biggest inspirations, I have 2. A gentleman by the name of Al Bell, old icon from Stax Records, has been a mentor of mine over the years. We became friends as he discovered my music and just sort of sold into a young buck like myself. And people may know his music even if they don't know his name. You ever heard the song by the Staple Singers, I'll Take You There? That is an iconic song written and produced by the one and only Al Bell, a good friend of mine who's been influential, taught me a lot about how to make inspirational music and how to market music. So I credit a lot of my success to him as a private mentor. Another influence of mine has been Fred Jerkins III of Darkchild Entertainment. A lot of people know when they hear Darkchild, they think of Rodney Jerkins. But Fred Jerkins is Rodney Jerkins' brother, who was there as his writing partner throughout the course of their career, working with the likes of Michael Jackson, Brandy, and so many other. He's an award-winning songwriter. Linked up with him over 10 years ago as a producer, mentored me as a writer, and taught me much of everything I know about the songwriting process, about the business of music. So those 2 gentlemen, I must give flowers today during this interview. Then that is also the name of my new single that I'm promoting off the Lightness of Love Deluxe. It's called Flowers, and it's simply about that, giving people flowers while they can smell them.
Ooh. Well, while we're talking about single, tell us more about your single and the motivation behind it.
Well, just that. I believe that people need to know while they can hear it, what they mean to you. And so certainly over the course of the past year, a lot of us have lost a lot of people really, really fast. And you see it on Facebook where people flood timelines with all kind of things. But the question is, did you tell that person? Did you reach out and let them know when they can hear it? It's one thing to pay tribute about a person. It's another thing to pay tribute to a person. And that's what this song is saying. Reach out to those who have meant something to you and let them know, because you never know how that can lift their spirit and live their life to know that they meant something to you.
Yes. Well, I want to give you your flowers today because your music is so inspiration to me, and I think that's what we need to bring back. And it sounds so good, that love baby music, that soul, that R&B. I love it. So with that being said, what do you think is missing in today's music?
Let me say, music is a reflection of the people that want to hear it, right? And the people that are making it. And I think what's missing is the engagement between folks who want something wholesome and the people that, like myself, who can make it, right? So oftentimes artists don't believe that there's a market for wholesome R&B, right? Or a market for soul music, because all they're seeing is everything else. But we need people to reach out and say, look, I want some music I can play around my kids. Let me stream it. Let me seek out the music that's not quite gospel, not too sexual, but it reminds me of the old school soul music that I can play around the family at barbecues when the kids running around without the kids starting to say stuff they're too young to be saying, right? Mm-hmm. So to me, what's missing is we need folks who are a little too quiet and to demand that the artist make this wholesome music. Like, hey, I'm not gonna play your music around my kids because it's a little too grimy. And so oftentimes a lot of the parents are playing music that is in fact, to me, affecting the minds of young people, and young people are starting to engage life with things that they may be a little too young to handle, right? So, so I just try to lead the way with my music. I got two little girls, 12 and 7. And so I say, as a father, at least at this point in my career, I want to make music I can drive them to school playing. They can say, Daddy, let us hear your music this morning. And I don't have to turn it down and say, no, you can't listen to that. So I feel like we need more of that with R&B. That used to be the standard back in the days, of course, but it's not anymore. And I feel like that we need more of that.
Okay. Well, who are some of your, let's go with this. Tell me, who are your top 5 of all time?
Top 5 artists of all time.
I'm dying to hear this answer right here.
Okay. Let's start with D'Angelo. All right. Because see, now I'm a 90s baby. Okay, I'm a 90s baby. So I became a man during the neo soul era. I became a man during that time, and that doggone Voodoo album, that just changed my whole life, listening to D'Angelo and but it reminds you of church. It's like I'm a Southern church boy, and the way he made his music, his soul music, it just felt like church, and that's my number one artist of all time, I shall say, is D'Angelo, certainly with the Voodoo album. Al Green. I love me some Al Green. I love me some Al Green. Yes. And I'll say, let's say Sam Cooke will be like my number 3. And that's because as I got a little older, I started reaching further back, right? Start reaching further back and finding that connection with gentlemen like Al Green and Sam Cooke. I'm gonna go flip something up on you, go a little jazz on you, go a little jazz. Joshua Redman, saxophonist, made an album called Mood Swings back in '94. And that album just literally got me through college. It was just something about the sound of his sax that helped me study and retain all of that information. It was just that one album, Mood Swings. And so I gotta give credit to Joshua Redman as my number 4. And number 5, I got to say, can I say myself?
Yes, you can.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to shout out a good friend of mine, PJ Morton. PJ Morton is actually a personal friend of mine. We played in the band together in 2000, Freestyle Nation. He was, really, really close friends. I saw him and knew him, 20 years ago when he was just getting started. We were dreaming together, and he actually inspired me to start writing, and to see him winning Grammys, traveling around the world, just inspired me to keep pushing, because I'm like, if my boy can do it, so can I. But outside of that personal friendship, he is one of the most amazing songwriters and vocalists of our generation. So I got to shout out my man, PJ Morton.
Okay. So out of your top 5, you didn't name no females. None. What's up with that?
Well, okay. Well, you should have said your top 5 females. And your top 5
well, let's see who your top 5 females are, because I was trying to see where you was gonna go on that route.
Hey, no problem, no problem. Most time I talk about my daddy before I talk about my mama too. So, I love my mama. All right, but I can probably name them quicker.
Okay.
The Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
The Queen of Soul, Whitney Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Whitney Houston. Lord have mercy. Like, I cry more listening to Whitney. Like, Lord, why so small? Whitney. Like number three. Let's see. you stomping me now. Now I'm just gonna stop. Them the two that off the top of my head that's gonna pop. It's Rita and Whitney as my favorite. I love so many singers. And you know, you put me on the block by making me choose, but but those would be the top two female singers. Oh, and let me just say, I love Beyonce. You know, I'm one of those people when folks say Beyonce can't sing, I'm like, you a fool. Are you kidding me? I actually think Beyonce is one of the most amazing vocalists and arrangers in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I got, let me make that my number 3.
Okay. Okay. You want to stop at number 3?
I mean, we can take as much time as you want.
No, we'll stop at number 3. I thought you were gonna go to 5 since you gave the 5 minutes, but we can stop at 3. So, how do you feel the internet has impacted the music industry?
Well, it's opened it up and it's closed it off, right? And that's let me explain. Of course, to me, I give this example when I'm talking to other young artists who say, I want to put out music. I said, well, make sure you don't take sand to the beach. They say, huh? I said, make sure you don't take sand to the beach. I said, your music is like a bucket of sand, right? And you take your bucket of sand to the beach where sand is everywhere. It's all over the place. The worst thing to do is go throw your bucket of sand out there at the beach. It's gonna get lost. And that is what happened with the internet. It opened up so much music to the consumers that it's so much easier for your music to get lost, which makes it more important to learn how to build a sand castle, right? You have to take your music now and be so creative and be so innovative just to get seen because there's so much music now. And I would say the internet sort of closed off the exclusivity of industry people who understood that we have to give consumers a little bit at a time so that they don't lose value, right? So consumers now don't value, they're not gonna spend no money on music. So you closed off the decision makers and those strategists who say, hey, let's just put out one record, you know, so that industry is gone. So it closed off, to me, what I felt like made music great. Like you don't hear a bunch of bad music because you couldn't get it out. Right. Only heard great stuff because the labels wouldn't allow bad music to pipe through. Well, that was the goal, not to allow the market to be flooded with bad music. So internet closed off the exclusivity of the labels owning what we hear, and it opened up the market for any and everybody to throw their sand on the beach. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. But what has been the biggest challenge for you?
The biggest challenge for me has been to just stay the course until I got to a point in my career where I could get a team. You know, people always say, man, get a team, get a team, get a team. Well, the question is, who want to be on your team? You know, it's a lot harder than, you know, it sounds. Man, just get you a manager. Who wants to make a percentage of nothing, right? Not many. So, you know, a percentage of 0 is 0. And folks take for granted that you have to build your brand and build some value for somebody else to get a small piece of that value. And so getting a team and getting the support of a team has been very, very difficult for me throughout the course of my career, but I had to use as much my personal resources as possible. I had to keep pushing and investing in myself until I get others to believe in me enough to grow with me and bring their resources and their experience and relationships to help me grow a lot faster.
I got you. So we talked about your challenges. What is your biggest accomplishment?
I'll say taking that big leap in 2002, the summer of 2002, from corporate America into full-time entrepreneurship as a musician, singer, songwriter in Birmingham, Alabama. You know, coming out of college, making good money in corporate America, I could have played it safe. You know what I mean? I could have done it on nights and weekends forever until time and family stopped it. But I took that leap and I invested in myself, and I was able to get on a path where I could experience the ups and downs of my dreams. So to me, it starts there. All of my accomplishments go back to that decision to take that leap of faith in 2002.
I got you. So, do you have any events coming up or anything you're doing virtual? Any touring you might do? You know, even though we got everything going on in the world, but tell us what you got coming up.
Well, I am promoting the lightness of love. We have dates that we are putting on the books now. You know, like you mentioned, we're in a pandemic, so touring is not like it used to be. You can't just go out and
Mhm.
just boom, 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 boom. You have to take it light. You have to see what's going on in each local municipality. And we have done a lot of streaming events, which people can check out on my social media at the Alvin Garrett on my website. But now we're looking at different markets to actually get back out and perform live and in person. And so right now we're focusing on getting the word out about the Lightness of Love Deluxe, which we're doing right now. And hopefully people will connect with me on social media and stay tuned when we're coming to a town near them.
Awesome, awesome. Can we expect anybody you're collabing with on this project?
No, no, no. This is all me.
All you.
This is all me, and that is a decision that I made. Of course, by force during the pandemic
Right.
to just, but it was a journey for me because I've spent a lot of time in my career writing for other people, producing for other people. But this is something I want to do for myself. You know what I mean? I want to sing
Okay.
music that I love. I wanted to make myself happy. One of the songs on my new album is called Make You Happy. So I want to make music that makes Alvin Garrett happy. And that's the place that I'm in. And after I promote this record to the place where I'm happy, and I'll be looking to do collaborations and work with other artists and producers again. But I'm just taking out some time to focus on me, which I think is fair. I should be able to do that after 20 years of hustling and being kicked out of rooms. I've been turned away enough to say, you know what, this is my moment. Let me have
That's right.
it.
It's your moment. Okay. I got a hard one for you. This is always hard when I ask artists this. Out of all the music that you have, which ones are your favorite too?
Well, I actually already gave you my favorite two right off the top of the head, and that was the D'Angelo Voodoo album, like just say boom, and and that Mood Swings project. I listen to a lot of music, but whenever I'm asked that question, those just pop in my mind. So I try to
Mm.
at least be honest with myself and and say, music that sticks with me like that. I just have to call it what it is. And that Mood Swings album, that jazz project, even today when I turn it on, it just takes me to a certain place. And I love so much music, but those two projects would have to be as albums, my top two.
I got you. I got you. Okay. Okay. Look at you. So let's ask a little fun fact question. What's a fun fact about yourself?
Fun fact is I like to do Tickle Monster. I like what kind of bug are you? I like um, I have a host of adventurous games I love to play with my little girls. We make voices, we make songs. Uh,
Mm.
I, I am a true girl dad in the most fun kind of way. So if I could only capture every wonderful, amazing moment I have with my daughters, man, it'd be a TV show. You know what I'm saying? So, fun fact is, I am a fun girl dad.
I got you. I got you. So, out of all the places in the world, where would you want to perform it?
Mhm. All the okay, let me see. Hmm. Okay. I actually want to perform at the White House. You know what I'm saying? I
Oh,
do. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could have performed for Obama, when he
right.
was up in. But I just feel like, I want to perform somewhere, regal like that, as a soul artist, singing my kind of music. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So yeah, I would love to perform at the White House if I had to pick a place on the planet that would be, something I would tell my grandkids. That would be the spot.
I got you. I got you. So, what has been the best advice you ever received?
Mm. First thing popped in my head is you can't see it and be it. Had an
Mm.
one of the old legends, because I like hanging with older people because they give you that wisdom, old man wisdom. I like to call it old people wisdom because I see you don't want me to separate old people. Just so happen the old people I hang out with are men. Okay, so I'm just saying that's my experience. So he said you can't see it and be it. And what he was saying was you are always going to be limited if you only have your point of view. He said
Mm.
there's no way possible for you to have a true perspective if you only listen to yourself. You can never see yourself the way others do. So he was saying, even when you're performing, you can't hear yourself from the audience. You got to have somebody in that audience going to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? You can, even how you look, you may look in the mirror, but you got to have another person's eyes, another person's ears, somebody you trust who going to give it to you straight so that you can have
Mm.
a fuller picture of your own existence. He said, you can't see it and be it, right? so
I
so
like
that's
that.
that's old wisdom, man. And so that helped me to humble myself and learn to lean on the people around me that I trust and say, hey, now I know what I think, but what do you think? What do you see? And then start embracing the people around me that I allow to get close enough to me to speak into my life to say, I need your perspective. I have my own. I'm a pretty sharp dude, but I'll never be as sharp as I can be if I team up with somebody that I trust. You know what I'm saying? So I must
I
say
love
that
that.
that has
I
been a
love.
great piece of wisdom and advice for me.
Okay, okay. So usually at the end of my interviews, I do fun facts. But before
Okay.
I go into that, I have two fun fact questions for you. But before
Okay.
I go into that, I just want to see what is one message you want to give to your fans right now?
Well, be light, man. Lighten up. Real talk. Lighten up. It's enough out here outside that can kill us. Don't kill yourself with stressing and worrying, trying to change the world overnight. You know what I mean? Lighten your own heart with gratefulness, lighten your own heart with forgiveness. Find that mental space. Your own mental health is contingent upon your willingness to let things go. Lighten up. And that's not me saying that things aren't important, that they don't deserve attention, but not at the expense of your well-being and your mental health. Lighten up and listen to my music to help you get that done.
I got you. I got you. So you ready for these two fun fact questions?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So the first question is, if you could trade places with one person for one day, who would it be and why?
Mm.
Just one person for one day. Take your
That-
time. Take your time.
okay, I had to let it come to me because I'd spend my life trying not to be nobody else. But I would have to say I want to be my man, Tom Brady. Okay,
Oh.
Tom Brady. Listen, if you're gonna be the GOAT, if I could trade places with the GOAT and just be that damn good, I would trade places with Tom the GOAT Brady because he just the man, and I'm a big fan. Always has been. Yes, Tom Brady. But I want to still look like me with this nice curly hair. But I want to be Tom Brady.
Hold on, I got a question to ask with that. Hold on. So what would be one, if you was interviewing him, what would be one question you would ask him?
One question I would ask Tom Brady is, how does it feel to look back at who you were when everybody thought like, yo, this dude is the worst? How does it feel going from the absolute perceived worst to the proven best? How does that feel?
I got you.
Come on.
Okay, so my last question is, let me see. I got two on my mind, but I'm gonna go with this one. What's the best concert you ever been to? Who was it?
Ooh, the best concert I've ever been to. Oh, there we go. Prince. Prince
Ooh,
came to Birmingham. I'm trying to remember exactly when. I don't remember exactly when, but I remember it was at the BJCC. And that was when he was promoting, I can't remember which album it was, but he had the stage where everything was in the center, is kind of rotating. And that's when I believe he became kind of independent, selling all his CDs. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. It was just amazing seeing Prince live in person and in Birmingham. That was amazing.
wow.
Actually seeing that in person. Yeah.
I bet. I wish I could have seen one of his performances, because I just know just looking at him on TV is just be like him and Michael Jackson for me.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay, but before we get off, just tell everybody where they can follow you.
Well, on social media, that's Twitter, Instagram, Facebooks, that's the Alvin Garrett, not that Alvin Garrett, not even just Alvin Garrett. It's the Alvin Garrett. And you can go to alvingarrett.com to check out my website, and that'll lead you back to the Alvin Garrett and other information about me. I love to connect, and I certainly want people to stream The Lightness of Love Deluxe and enjoy this great light music.
Awesome. Well, I want to say congratulations on everything you've done. Thanks for interviewing with us today. You gained a fan here with me. I just love your voice and your music. I think I was able to be on one of the when you was doing your shows, the live, and I was just like so amazed. And then when you did you was like, hey, I'm gonna let the media hear this song before it come out. I was on there jamming in my seat. But yeah, you have a beautiful voice. I love your music, so you got a fan here with me. You got a fan with me.
Thank you so much. And I'm your fan, and I appreciate every person, certainly in the media, that allows me to share my journey, share my music. I'm always grateful, for platforms and opportunities to share. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, you have a happy Friday. Be safe out here and enjoy your Labor Day.
You too. You too as well.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.